Welcome everyone to my YouTube channel. This is Teacher Little speaking, your favorite teacher. So, before anything else, have you ever wished that learning science could feel like playing a game? Huh? Well, that's exactly what my board game is designed to do. So I designed my board game, which I call it Science Race Board Game, which is based on grade 6 Natural Sciences and Technology. So here I'm going to take you through a short video on how my board game looks like. This is how my board game looks like, and then we have a dice over there, and then we have the 4 cue cards or equation cards that are based on the 4 strands of natural sciences and technology, and then having them in different colors to show that they are different strands. And then here I have where we are going to check answers. It is some sort of a booklet, and then there's part of the game which is Magic Magnet, and then here we have the science race rules that we are going to use when we are going to this game. So this is how my board game looks like. And then I designed this board game to help learners engage with the NST content in a fun and an interactive way. So this game aligns with the CAP syllabus of grade 6 Natural Sciences and Technology because it is built on 4 strands of natural sciences and technology, which are life and living, matter and materials, energy and change, the planet Earth, and beyond. This game includes different color cards based on the different strands that we have, which are 4, and then it also contains different questions. So this game directly assesses learners' science knowledge whenever they land. Let's just say they land on a ticket card. For example, the card may ask a question such as what is photosynthesis, and then if the learner answers correctly, they are rewarded by moving ahead or even rolling again the dice. These questions exercises on the learner's brains and test their knowledge on science because they are allowed to predict, test, and explain the science concepts. Beyond knowledge, the game also encourages scientific inquiry skills. Some cards have questions that require learners to think critically, make predictions, or even explain how they carry out an experiment. For example, a card may say, if you mix vinegar and baking soda, what happens and why? This allows learners to practice observation, hypothesis, and explaining the relationship, which is the core part of scientific inquiry. The scientific inquiry skills encourage high-order thinking capabilities and critical thinking. The rules of the game are directly linked to how well learners perform in science. For example, if they answer correctly, they are rewarded with progress in the game, like going forward and making an extra roll. If they answer incorrectly, they move backwards or even lose a turn. This creates a link between learning outcomes and game rewards. In other words, doing well in science helps you win the game, which motivates learners to focus and think carefully. I took days to design this board game, and then I made use of recyclable materials such as cardboard, box, colored papers, and markers. These are low cost and easily available materials, and then they show creativity, which helps in making the projects to be accessible to each and every learner or every person. The colored papers and the markers that I used made the board game to be more visually appealing to learners or even the people. My board game is colorful and bright and well designed. And then it also combines fun activities with learning tasks. For example, learners might be asked to do a Goomba dance or make a funny pose, which makes the game to be more enjoyable and creates laughter in the classroom. This helps to balance between fun and learning to keep learners motivated and reduce boredom, especially when coming to learning science concepts. In summary, my board game meets the criteria because it is educational, aligned with science learning goals, interactive, and well presented. Thank you. I hope you join me next time in my YouTube. Ciao.